And we're live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, extraterrestrials, hobbits, and cryptids, to our third episode of Scuttlebutt with the Phill on the Fleet Admiral Levi channel. If you're watching this now or in the future, please leave a like or comment or share it if you'd liked it. But in reality, subscribe. It really does help the channel. As always, I'm here to say a few things, do a couple things, and hopefully give a little of myself to the infamy of the internet. Tonight we'll be discussing one item, basically the Star Trek Las Vegas event in Las Vegas at the Rio Hotel and Casino, and kind of breaking down exactly what is going to be happening at the event. It's actually a 4-day little convention. It's not little, but it's quite large. But I will only be attending it for Saturday and Sunday, but I'm going to be taking video and some audio clips and then possibly posting them here on the channel, as well as sending a few clips over to Trek Central, where they'll be cutting things for their social media and other programs that they have. So I'll be offering my services to them, and hopefully everything works out. And this is the third episode I've used my laptop microphone and not separate mic. I did buy a new microphone, and I will be using that in subsequent episodes. Next week, we're going to have a guest, hopefully. So during our free chat day, our first free chat, but probably not our last. At least we'll hope. And there's a couple of people who might join us that day, or possibly one of the two people I asked to possibly show up. But I think it'll be fun. The week after that will be the State of Horror stream, and the week after that will be the State of Fantasy stream. The week after that, I'm still a little bit on the fence about. But the week after that will be the stream I'll do describing my first week as a Master of Fine Arts student at the San Diego State University. So I think that'll be interesting and fun for some of you. And even if you're not an academic or all that into that world, I'd still recommend watching and listening, just because, it doesn't hurt to learn a new perspective or see what other people have going on in their lives. But aside from that, that'll get us to September. In September, I've kind of gamed out a little bit too. We'll go over that stuff a little bit later. As we get into the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be adding another 5 episodes to the upcoming list. So that'll cover all of September. And then the week after that, or the month after that, rather, will be our horror month. And we'll be just going ham on horror stories. And then when we get into November, we're going into Thanksgiving time / election time. So still kind of figuring out what we want to do for that. And then during the holidays, I'm kind of thinking about designating December fantasy month, because Christmas is very much like a fantastical month. So I think that would be the better route. But aside from that, that'll get us to the end of the year, at which point I'm seriously considering doing something of a rebrand on the channel. that'll get us our first stuff for January. And I think it'll either be a rebrand or it'll just be a sort of an upgrade of what we're already doing. But Scuttlebutt with the Phill will continue into next year, regardless of whatever happens. I think that these are good little snapshots of the week, for either the media we follow or the stuff I'm doing and keeping track and tabs on me. So I think that it still serves a valuable purpose. And I don't see myself cutting the show at all anytime soon. But my time to do it might be limited coming soon because I'll be going into the master's program. But we're going to try to ensure that we keep the show on Friday mornings at 11. Now, we're not doing the show tomorrow. I'm doing it today instead, strictly because of the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, and that'll be occupying my entire weekend. We'll be heading down there tomorrow morning, and then we won't be there for Friday night. We'll be doing other stuff in town since it's been like 8 years since I was last in Las Vegas for the Star Trek convention. We never got to go to the convention because I believe it was actually sold out when we went, and we weren't able to actually attend, and that was sad for me. We tried to do some other stuff in Vegas, and those were eventful. But I think the last time before that I'd gone was 2009, and I think that was one of the last years that they had the Star Trek experience at the Las Vegas Hilton, and that was one of my favorite places. It was my own Disneyland for a good minute. I think there actually still is parts of it at the Hilton, or they don't call it the Hilton anymore, but at that hotel and casino, there is still components of the Star Trek experience at random spots around the building. So little gentle reminders of a past that I think they was a bad idea to let go of. But contract stuff, legal shit, and so really can't blame them, I suppose. But yeah, now going into the next few episodes, we'll be doing our best to keep our show to about an hour. We may run over at some points, especially when there is a guest. I don't really like to run shows with guests with like a prepared list of questions unless it's like a really well-known person. And there's a few people I'm thinking about reaching out to in later episodes, probably not till next year, or at least later in this year, which there's only a few more months left. But you never know when people are willing to offer themselves up to discussion. So it'll be more of a freestyle, kind of free dealing, sort of back and forth, a more relaxed setting next week. So that'll probably start becoming more of a normal sort of rhythm. And at least next week, we'll hopefully be able to try out the new mic, and then hopefully that works. We were testing it out not long ago, and it seems that the audio is coming clear, but we're going to actually field test it during the weekend for the convention, and hopefully nothing happens to it. But we'll be there for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and we will do our best to send you and anybody else watching as much as we can in regards to it. I'm actually hoping to get at least a couple little mini interviews of some people I know I'm going to be participating in some photo ops, maybe a couple of autographs, dependent or contingent on a few things. It's practically impossible to get to do more than like a couple of photographs and autographs because the prices can definitely add up to a level that I think is significantly out of reach for most people. So one of the things I do plan to do, and actually we'll get to the scheduling right now. Um, when we get to the scheduling, I'll probably go into more detail of what we're planning to do when we get there. But yeah, if you're a Star Trek fan, or even if you're not, I recommend you continue watching the stream and just getting a feel for the kind of things that you can have during conventions. I mean, last week we had San Diego Comic Con, which I did not attend inside the convention center. I attended that one with little exhibits and experiences they had around the convention in San Diego, and still found it very enjoyable and fun. But this time we'll be going inside the convention event area and diving a little bit into the specifics with that. And oh, we have a little bit of a problem. Okay. Much better. So the convention itself. So I spent the last week writing an article for Trek Central, and it's kind of a preview article of things to expect at the Star Trek Las Vegas event for 2024. And I was very grateful for the staff at Trek Central for giving me that opportunity. And I really hope to stick around with them. I have a lot of interesting ideas. I've kind of gone back and forth with the main head of the organization about new stories that I'd like to explore, even as either a video or just as a standard article. And yeah, I'm excited to continue with them. I'll be doing man on the street style interviews while I'm there, and I think we get a kick out of those. I'm planning to wear my Star Trek uniform, although last I put it on, it was a little tight. So yeah, hopefully lost a little bit of weight, and we'll see if I can actually slip into it without any issues. But we'll see. So the event itself, they actually have it on one of the documents that it starts on Tuesday. So for some, it started yesterday, the day before yesterday. And that's mostly for vendors kind of bringing stuff in, kind of setting up. And then Wednesday is for people who are going to be spending the whole the whole rest of the weekend at the event. And it's very good for them. But today is the official first day of the convention, and it'll be running from August 4th or 1st to the 4th. And you'll see a lot of people that have been featured throughout the franchise. I've only met or seen with my own eyes William Shatner, and that was this year for the National Space Society's ISDC 2024 conference over at the LAX International Airport. And I was very surprised at that. It's a surreal experience to meet one of your heroes, or at least to see them. I'm hoping to meet William Shatner at the event. They're doing a interesting kind of setup with some of the photo ops, so we'll get to that when the time comes as well. So as soon as this thing loads. Because normally you don't end up having all of the captains show up during one of these convention events, but we do have William Shatner, Captain Kirk, Kate Mulgrew, that's Captain Catherine Janeway, Jay Ryan, who's now Captain Seven, and Anson Mount, among many others. So Anson Mount is Captain Pike in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Um, they're even going to have some creatives that are going to show up, like the writers, Ronald D. Moore, Ira Stephen Bear, and Brandon Braga. And they were actually supposed to have a writers' workshop hosted by Terry Matalas, the showrunner of the season 3 of Star Trek Picard. And that has since been canceled, as far as I'm still aware. But today, they'll be having a couple of, actually, they probably just finished up one of the Discovery recurring characters panels. And in about an hour or so, they'll be diving into the Bridge Crew panel on Discovery. About 30 minutes ago, they did an Enterprise crew panel, and that's from Star Trek Enterprise. And at 1:30 today, they have a out of dry dock relaunching Enterprise D showcase where they'll production staff, the art department will kind of discuss how they decided to recreate the bridge of the Enterprise D. I'm looking forward to checking that out if I have the time. And then John Delancey will be doing a showcase of his exploits as a seagoing adventurer because he's a very big, um, you know, seafarer, which I didn't know about until very recently. And 3:15 today, we have a Deep Space Nine Aliens panel, which will be hosted by Lolita Facho, and that'll feature um, the characters or the actors who played the characters: General Martok, Chancellor Galron, Rom, and Lita. So that should be interesting. And then 4 p.m. they have a Paul Wesley kind of showcase where they're going to be interviewing the younger version of James T. Kirk that's featured in Strange New Worlds. And then the night will close out with a 7 p.m. happy hour entertainment that's going to be hosted by Chase Masterson. And then the night ends with a karaoke party with Connor Trenier and Dominic Keating. So that's going to be interesting to see. But tomorrow night, there'll be an original series guest stars panel. It's like a 2-part panel. And then that'll be it. It'll be a first half at 9:30 and a second half at 10:15. And then a Picard recurring characters panel at 11 a.m. We're doing a spotlight for Walter Koenig at noon. Doing a Discovery Found Family panel where the actors who play the characters, Paul Stamets, Adria Graytal, and Hugh Culper, will be in attendance. And then the animated cast of The Lower Decks. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And the interesting thing about tomorrow night is that they'll be doing a sort of Galaxy Quest night, it seems, because at 5 o'clock they'll be doing a cast panel and interviewing some of them. Tim Allen will not be in attendance, which is sort of sad for me, but I would look forward to that if he was present, as he is the Captain Kirk of that film. But the night will basically conclude with a Galaxy Quest screening, which I would love to attend. And then they'll be doing a Plan 9 from Outer Space, kind of like live theater event at 7:30. And then the Amazing Action Figures Band will be in concert at 9:15. And I think that'll close out Friday night. And then Saturday, we'll be diving into sort of the cosplay stuff because there'll be a cosplay parade meetup at 9:15, and I'm going to try my best to catch that because seeing people in costume is always interesting. They have a separate cosplay event at 2 for people in Monster Maroon. That's the uniforms that they were wearing in the Star Trek, the original series movies from the late 70s and through the 80s and early 90s. Then there'll be a Michael Westmore spotlight. That's the makeup supervisor for basically a lot of the TNG era of Star Trek. And then there'll be another Deep Space Nine Stars panel, but this will be from some members of the main cast. And then at 11:30, there'll be the Star Trek Brain Trust panel, which I'm hoping to attend at 11:30, where there'll be some of the creatives I had mentioned appearing and discussing their time on the show. I'm also looking forward to From Voyager to New Series panel, where the actors that play Seven of Nine, the Doctor, and Tuvok will be in attendance, and they'll be talking about, at least Jerry Ryan and Tim Russell discuss their appearances on Picard, and the Doctor, or Robert Picardo, will be discussing his appearance on Prodigy and his upcoming appearance on Starfleet Academy, which I think is exciting. And then at 1:15, Kate Mulgrew and John Delancey will have a conversation with no moderator. It will be a chat in a relaxed, no moderator format. In the next event at 2 o'clock will be the BFFs for Generations, where it'll be between Marina Sirtis and Michael Dorrance. That's Counselor Troy and Worf, discussing their friendship from the Next Generation to Picard. Then there'll be a Picard co-stars panel, which will be between Michelle Hurd and Santiago Cabrera. That's Rafi and Captain Rios on Picard. And then the night will kind of close out toward Star Trek documentaries panel, where Garrett Wang, Ensign Harry Kim from Voyager, will be giving an update on the upcoming Voyager documentary, and Michael Westmore will discuss his own documentary. But the night ends with a Saturday night gala at 8 p.m., where they'll have a lot of featured music from throughout the franchise. And then the final day, Sunday, there'll be a memorable Star Trek guest stars panel, which looks interesting. And then a 2-part panel for Star Trek New Worlds, Strange New Worlds. The first part at 9:45, the second part at 10:45. And that'll feature pretty much the entire cast of Strange New Worlds in 2 different parts. And then they'll have a actor spotlight at 11:45 for William Shatner, and then at 12:30 for Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown from the Back to the Future movies, but Commander Kruge from Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. And then there'll be the Rat Pack panel at 2:30, because there's a music ensemble of different Star Trek actors that kind of go and they sing like, Sinatra style music. And then there'll be 3 major panels at the Leonard Nimoy Theater centered around Star Trek Discovery, and that one starts the Stars panel starts at 3:15. That'll be with the actress that played Captain Burnham, Sonequa Margaret Green, and her love interest David Ajala, who played Book. And then a love story panel at 4:30 between the actor that played Saru, Doug Jones, and his love interest, and then a Friends panel at 5:15 between the actress that played Tilly, Mary Wiseman, and Mary Chieffo, the actress that played Laurel. And the night will close out with a Trek Rat Pack show at 8:30. But throughout the weekend, there's going to be, vendors showcase all kinds of memorabilia from around the franchise, and it'll probably even include items from various other science fiction properties. And additionally, there will be some officially licensed Star Trek art that will be sold in the Star Trek Art Gallery early on some of the days. And Star Trek Wine and Spirits is going to be selling some exclusive merch and items that'll be interesting to look at. The next convention will be August 7th through the 10th in 2025, so it'll be a little bit later than right now. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I will do my best to attend that one when the time comes as well. That's the basic rundown of events at the convention, and some of the things that we can look forward to as the convention gets rolling. I've made a bunch of um, tasks in my Google Planner, my Google Calendar, to kind of keep track of everything, because there's a lot of things that are going to overlap for me, but I'm going to do my best to keep that going, because I know there's going to be some things that I want to do that other people that are coming with me will not want to do, and so I'll be providing them some alternatives. I know that most of them will probably want to check out the vendors area. There's a lot to do there, a lot to see usually. I'm definitely not going to budge on some of the things I want to see, so hopefully everything goes swimmingly and nothing happens that splits the party. So we shall see. As I mentioned before, I haven't been to Vegas in like 8 years, so it's pretty much the better part of a decade. And there's parts of it that I think are exciting, and I'm hoping that once the Star Trek stuff's over, because it's not going to last all day, it'll be like a 9 a.m. to 5, type of thing. And Friday, we're not going to be showing up to it. We're going to be doing something else in town. So Friday night, we're going to find something to do. There's a few things I've wanted to check out in town that I haven't gotten around to checking out in the past. And so I think that'll be cool to do. And then Saturday night and Sunday night, we're going to figure out something else too. What I'm told the weather is going to be like is pretty horrendous. We're looking at mid to high hundreds. I think the last day peaking out at about 110 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates to in Celsius for my Australian and German viewers, but let me know if you can. The evening time, they said, will be somewhere in the 80s, like mid to high 80s. So it's going to pretty much be super hot during the day and still pretty warm in the evening. So I'm not even going to bring a jacket with me. But I'm going to try to take a dive in a pool sometime while I'm there. I do plan to do a photo op with William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd. Because about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, we went to a photo opportunity with Katie Sackhoff from of The Mandalorian and Battlestar Galactica. And I mean, it wasn't cheap, but this photo op I want to do is with literally Captain Kirk and Doc Brown. And I don't think I'm going to turn that opportunity down because they're both older actors, and we might not have another shot. So I'm going to pull an executive decision on that one and at least get that photo on, I believe, Sunday. And then we'll probably have that one posted up on the day after that, if not later in the evening, contingent on what we're actually doing that day. But so far, there's a few people I'd like to see. On my Twitter, I'm following, or we're following each other. The actor Kirk Acevedo. He's from, I know him from Fringe and from a few other things that happened before that. I think the first thing I saw him in was that Mark Wahlberg movie, Invincible. It'd be really cool to meet him. I don't know if he'll, make the connection that it's me, but if he does, that'll be very cool. I think he has a photo up on Saturday too, because I think on Saturday, it doesn't look like it's on Saturday. It might be on. No, it's on. No, it is on Saturday. So doing a 12 Monkeys sort of mini convention at 11, and I did not watch. I watched the movie 12 Monkeys. I didn't watch the television show, although I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about the TV show. I'm going to try to finagle something to where we can get to the convention without any issues with registration. Probably do it the day before. That's Friday. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit of a trick. This is about 30 minutes in between most events. They have a food area over at the lounge at the convention, and that's probably where we're going to be getting a majority of our sustenance during the event. I'm not actually sure what they serve there, but I imagine it'll be pretty open. And the vendor's room closes at 6 p.m., so we're going to try our best to attend that too before it closes. And the rest of the weekend, or the rest of the day is ours to mess around. On Sunday, we're doing a thing called Super Sci-Fi 79, which is, I think, interesting because that's kind of my dad's era of science fiction, is the late 70s and mid to late 70s, and maybe all of the 70s, and the early 80s, early to mid 80s. Yeah, I think the Christopher Lloyd, William Shatner thing is going to be like a couple hour long adventure. At 1 p.m. Sunday, they have an event called Writing for Star Trek and Genre Television, and I'm probably going to do my best to attend that one. It was kind of a shame for me because they also have a panel with Mary McDonnell. She was President Laura Roslin in the 2003 version of Battlestar Galactica, so that would be kind of cool to see. And then autographs of William Shatner, 1:45. Politics of Star Trek, 2 p.m. I think that's the panel where Mary Trump will be on. I think that would be cool to see. The State of the Trek, that's going to be with Larry Nemecek. And that'll be something I hope to attend to. Hopefully he remembers my name. Larry Nemecek reached out to me on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, after I posted a few articles to the daily Star Trek news, because last spring, 2023, I posted a bunch of like 4 articles to the daily Star Trek news, and then I think earlier this year I met this writer Dan Leckie, and he turned me on to doing podcasts. And so I did a couple of his podcasts with Rebel Transmissions that was exploring kind of the Star Wars universe, and then I did Subspace Chatter with him, and that was more of an exploration of the Star Trek franchise, and I enjoyed doing both of them. I was kind of surprised at how much I would actually enjoy doing a podcast with other people, because I normally don't reach out or do anything with fans of the franchises that I enjoy, and I don't really interact at all. So I thought that it was a good idea to kind of start reaching out, especially now that I would have the time. Because back in March, I was laid off from the Los Angeles Times, and so I've been kind of doing my best to use the time I have now to push hard on several different fronts. You know, getting my writing out there, getting my name out there in general, building my following, and all that. And it's been slow, but I know nothing happens that's worthwhile happens overnight. So, you know, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's more of a, slowly but surely get to a point where you're well off enough to where you don't have to concern yourself where your rent money comes from, or, where you'll have to sleep, or, you know, anything else that's a pressing need. But, yeah. That evening at 4 o'clock, there's going to be a Sunday night. There'll be a Voyager cosplay meetup, and then I guess we're going to have Garrett Wang there. I don't know if those are two related things or not. Seems like they would be. And then I think the night will end for me. And then we'll just spend our final night in Vegas and then head on out. I pride myself on making my YouTube channel, my YouTube aspirations, very transparent with my audience. It may not be the most exhilarating or most interesting things to most people, but for now, this is the way things will be. Periodically, it'll be a little more exciting, but for right now, that's what the weekend will look like and what I'll try to do. I'm hoping to achieve all of these goals, but it looks like in order to achieve them appropriately or accurately, I would have to jump between a lot of different hoops, just in terms of like the geography of the convention site itself. And so that's going to be a little bit of a bear, but I'm hoping we can get that done too. But beyond that, that's what the convention looks like. And you'll be seeing my contributions to Trek Central as those videos and photographs are taken and posted to their systems. I'm hoping to attend next year's Star Trek Las Vegas event as well as the 2026 event, because in 2026 it'll be the 60th anniversary of the franchise. So it'll be a 1966 to 2026 sort of deal. And then there's a chance I'll probably be back there for the convention in 2027. So that's going to be me for a few years. And then I'm probably going to stop, because between me and my fiance, we've been deciding that once I get my master's in 2027, is going to be kind of a little bit of a change to how our life has been. So the next stage of our lives will begin after that. On top of me trying to, dive into a PhD program. So I don't know how hard it'll be or how difficult it'll ultimately make things already, but I think doing that will be the best move, and I can't believe I'm actually doing it. I mean, for the longest time, I resisted going to college for as long as I have been, but I think in the long run, it'll be worth it. So I will not give up. I will keep at it, and hopefully, by the time it's done, um, San Diego Comic Con is still in San Diego because there's still talk about them moving it to a different city, a different venue. And I don't know if I agree with that too much, but it would be cool to go for at least another few years, and maybe they can move it after I leave. But I really don't know how long their contracts are. I think, I mean, my brain wants to say it's about 10 years, and then they stop. But the lease is up, or the license is up for that for the event. But yeah, like I said, I hope not. I think me being in San Diego and me attending the master's program and me doing all these other little things in town put me at a very significant advantage over some people that aren't in the area. And so I really would like to seize that opportunity as soon as possible. And it's partly because I don't want to have the Star Trek convention that'll be happening probably in early mid August from now on, and then have the San Diego Comic Con, say for example, move to Las Vegas and become the Las Vegas Comic Con. Either it'd be like 10 days or a week and a half to like 2 weeks where I'm going to be in Vegas, if not 3 weeks. And that one's definitely going to be bank breaking if I don't have something coming in that's a little bit more, we'll call it lucrative for that. But you go either way on that one. At the moment, we're slowly but steadily making our way to 50 subscribers. My goal for the next 10 years was to get to 100,000 subscribers, just 100,000. Um, I don't know what the frequency is on how we get subscribers at the moment, but who knows? I mean, we're just a starting out channel. We only started literally 3 months ago, and we already have a handful of videos out there. Well, maybe more than a handful, maybe about a couple dozen. And I haven't really done any video essays that I wanted to do. I want to do those, but they are a lot more time consuming, and I feel like I need to hire a separate editor to get those done in a timely manner. And then short videos are not too hard to do because you can kind of clip those out of the larger videos if you need to. My live streams will be pretty consistently done on the weekend or Fridays if everything goes well. Next week we will do it on Friday. Uh, Probably stay that way for a good minute because as soon as school starts, it's going to be a little more difficult to move the live stream from Fridays because we'll end up in a situation where I'll be in class as a student on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then I'll be teaching on one of those 4 days. I applied to another part time job at the school, which will only let me do like 20 hours a week at the most. So if I'm lucky, I'd like to do at least a couple hours a day because that'll get me to, I believe, the 20 hours that they want me to. So that might get me all the way through. We'll have to see. But regardless, I have high hopes for the channel. I have high hopes for a lot of things, especially my own writing, and doing my best to get more of it out there into the world. Um, there is going to be sort of a problem coming here pretty quick, though, because tomorrow night specifically, Amazon is telling me that I need to submit a manuscript for my ebook pre-orders, and right now the thing is still a little bit behind. So there's a good chance that I will lose pre-order ability for about a year after this, but I think that's okay. There are worse things to lose privilege for. But the plan is still to publish the American Dictator novel sometime before the end of the year, the American Caesar, and the American Empire. So the three-book series, the Rise and Fall of the First American Republic series, will definitely be done before the end of the year. And I'm planning to do something like a box set to where the books can be released like just before Christmas or a couple weeks before that. I'm actually hoping I can get those done as something of a box set around, because I don't think they're going to cut me off from Kindle activity at all. But I think I'm pretty much restricted to like publishing a book on the day that I want it to be published, which I think actually is a better idea anyway. But we'll see. Yeah. Thank you, DJ Play Nice. I appreciate you and everything you do. But yeah, no, I hope that we'll get those books out maybe around what is it? The name is escaping me. What is it? It's right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. So I hope that you do the thing for Black Friday. I might do a Black Friday little deal. So I hope that you'll help and contribute. Because next year we're going to be kind of going ham on a lot of different things. I'm hoping to publish a few more books that year. I'm going to be looking more and more into querying for different book publishers that are out there. I have a book called Writer's Market. It kind of gives you the rundown on every publisher that's currently officially operating. And I also have access to the Poets and Writers magazine subscription, so I can also look through there and see if there's anything else that's being published. And I'm probably going to go ham on short stories for the rest of this year into next year, and I'm going to hope to work on some more writing for my own use, because I know we can publish a little bit of stuff on Amazon through like a short story system. I forget what it's called. I think it's Villa or Vela. So I might take advantage of that and publish there. But my sci-fi epic story will probably not be out until either 25 or 26. I think 26 will probably be when I shoot it out there, strictly because it's going to coincide with the 25th anniversary of Star Trek Enterprise, and that's kind of what I'm kind of riffing off of in it. So I think that would make the most sense to me, as well as 2001 was the year that 2001: A Space Odyssey was set. It was also the year that Star Trek Voyager ended, which is, as I mentioned on Trek Central, on a little introduction to myself, is my favorite Star Trek franchise, and Catherine Janeway is my favorite captain. It would be kind of cool to meet her at the convention. And in addition to that, we have Star Trek Enterprise that started in that September. So it's these things that inspired this space adventure story. And then there's a few things I've posted on Twitter about it, and I've been trying my best to kind of get the let out on it. But the one ad that I posted for myself to kind of get my name out there performed rather badly, but I'm actually okay with the performance because I wasn't even sure I was going to get one like or one repost or one comment. So I think I did pretty good considering. So hope we don't have to do that much more because I don't like contributing to anything that Elon Musk does at the moment. But we will be running ads on YouTube. We'll be running ads on Instagram. Probably won't be doing much on Facebook because I think things are kind of fading out there. So we'll see. Probably post some more stuff on TikTok, but maintaining a social media apparatus is very challenging. I've learned this from kind of seeing the mechanizations that are at play at Trek Central. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely keep myself from getting too overwhelmed with everything. Because, I mean, between running the social media stuff, um, trying to do my own writing, trying to teach, trying to be a student, trying to maintain a social life, all of these things are have to work in simpatico with each other, or else we're going to be in some real big trouble. But I'm nothing if not confident that we will weather the storm and we'll get through it. But if you're hearing this and you've gotten this far, definitely let me know who you think I should get an interview with or get a photo with at the convention, and I'll see what I can do. I'm definitely not made of money. I'm definitely going to be dropping a lot of coin to get a photo with Christopher Lloyd and William Shatner. But I believe they have the same rules for that photo op as they have for Katie Sackhoff's photo op that we did last month, which is basically, you can have up to 4 people in the photo with you, which is going to be kind of awkward considering that there's going to be 5 of us going to the event. So, yeah. One person's going to be asked out, and I don't think they're going to be happy, but we'll have to figure that one out when the time comes. Maybe we can do something fair and do like a rock, paper, scissors style thing. Seems fair. Draw some straws. I don't know. It would be nice if they were able to allow all of us on there. Maybe we can get lucky. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Vegas. I'm looking forward to all the things that we plan to do there, both Star Trek related and not Star Trek related. Um, on the way to Vegas, there's on the way to and from Vegas, there's a little like alien jerky place that I've been wanting to check out. So I don't know if we'll check it out on the way into Vegas or we'll check it out on the way out. Either way, we're going to be there at some point, and yeah, we're going to be doing some other stuff in the area. I mean, in the town of Prim, it's like right outside Las Vegas, um, right just a little bit after right after you cross the state line. There's a place that we had that to this day is still the best prime rib I've ever had in my life, and that was at Whiskey Pete's. I don't know if they still have that kind of prime rib, but I'm kind of considering telling my dad if we can check that out. We'll see. I definitely won't be having the prime rib um, as blue rare. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but I know there's definitely a contingent of people, especially some of the more brawn minded people that are kind of interested in only wanting to consume the worst type of meat you can ever have or the rawest type of meat that you can have as a display of your masculinity. And I don't know, seems kind of primitive and barbaric in some ways, but I don't know. Still going to have it medium rare. But we're getting close to the end of the hour stream, but surprised we got this far. Very interested in how I'm able to get to this far without much issues. We'll have to see how well we do when we bring on guests. If I can keep a conversation going by myself for just about an hour, and it's only telling how it'll be with other people. The Gack Shack. Well, as far as I'm aware, I won't be trying out anything too crazy when I'm in Vegas. And I know that's definitely their sort of purview sometimes. But yeah, now the Vegas event is a long time coming for me. I'm excited, but more anxious. Um, I don't think I've ever been that anxious for something in my life. But then again, I guess it's because I'm going in as somebody different than I was when I was a kid. So there's that. I think the last time we'd gone to, because it was 2009, my grandma came with us, and that was the only time she ever went with us to do that kind of thing. I think she did go with us before that in 2001 to go and check out the Star Trek experience itself. So it was just not the convention. And then I think we did check out the convention that year on a separate thing, but I don't know. I'll have to check. But aside from that, I think in 2008 we went back to the convention when it was being held at the Las Vegas Hilton. And it was at that point that they'd still had the Star Trek experience, which I still to this day love and miss. And I wish that it was still around. But unfortunately, it is no longer there, at least in the capacity it was. And as I mentioned earlier, there's parts of it that are still strewn about the Las Vegas Hilton's slot machine area, I believe. Because I think right after that, you can kind of, because the Vegas Star Trek experience was built in a way you would like exit out into a bunch of slot machines, and if you kept going on to the right, you would end up like passing through a couple of doors onto the Las Vegas monorail, and then that'll take you wherever you want to go. I think we'll try out the monorail when we go at least once. I think it'll be cool. But yeah, um, there's going to be a lot to do this weekend. I probably won't be as active on social media because of it, but if you want to reach out, talk to me, or whatever you want, you have my Twitter handle, and you have all the places that I'm also available through my link tree. So please, by all means, I'm not, I won't bite. But yeah, next week we'll be doing a free chat. So bring your questions, bring whatever you want, and that podcast will be done on Friday as opposed to today, which was done on Thursday because we were prepping for Star Trek Las Vegas. Um, we'll see if the weather gets better next week for us. I mean, it hasn't really been too bad. It's been pretty nice here in LA, but I can only imagine what it's going to be like in Vegas when we go, so I might not want to go back there for a while. But anyway, so we will close out episode 3 of Scuttlebutt with the Phill and mentally prepare for Scuttlebutt with the Phill episode 4 next week, our free chat episode where we will have our first couple of guests to discuss anything we want to talk about. And then you'll see from that if you want to still keep on watching. But I recommend that you do. So until next time, keep the ravioli in orbit and don't take money from a man named Jack.